back and wonder how to make it over. How I made it over. Going on over all these years. You know my soul look back and wonder how did I make it over.
All right.
Tell me how we got over, Lord.
Here we are. Welcome back, everybody. Ropeadope TV, live from East Philadelphia.
Coming on over. You know my soul look back and wonder how did we make it over.
I'm going to have to manually adjust that this way. Let that play in the background. It doesn't work through the system there. Just found that out. Welcome back, everybody. Ropeadope TV, live from East Philly. Lewis here. Fabian Brown.
What's up, Lewis?
Good to see you again, brother.
Nice to be seen, man.
So we're kind of mixing it up here today, just because we're desperate for content. I was down at the record store in East Philly, right here in East Philly, Collingswood, New Jersey, which happens to be my hometown. And it never had a record store before, but now it has one. And my son Julian and he asked to go to the record store, and I said, well, let's try this one in Collingswood. And when I had looked in the window, I didn't expect much. And I thought there were going to be a few titles in there. We opened the door, and to our surprise, it was a deep collection of music. Here I am back collecting vinyl again, and the gospel section was right there, and I was flipping through for some things, and I have to say that I wasn't as schooled as I should be, and a lot of things that I didn't recognize. But I found Mahalia Jackson, which is always a winner. But this caught my eye because it's called How I Got Over, and I immediately thought of The Roots. There was a song on. Was that the name of the record? Was that the title of the album?
Title
the album
track
was How I Got Over, right?
Yep.
And then I came back and dug up why that connection. I had no idea that the Roots might have referenced this. Maybe because I never read the liner notes or dug into it, but
That's Mr.
So we started to dig.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to you when we got back here, and turns out that a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Jeremy Greenhart, was involved in writing that song.
That's correct.
Right? And I don't think it's a surprise to us because Jeremy has a deep gospel interest.
He's connected.
And background, right?
Jeremy's connected.
Currently in Washington, D.C., doing good work. So that's where we're starting. And then after that, I don't have a single thing planned for music today. For some reason, we have 40 more records coming out this year, and we've already aired a lot of the early exclusive stuff that we can. There's some other things that are sort of embargoed. So we're going to need to call out to the studio audience and play a little game here called Pick a Ropeadope Title. And then I'm going to grab a track off of that album and see if I can pick a good one.
Remember
so
that
we'll
time?
throw it out there. Anytime TJ is going to bring us something, throw it in.
Remember that time when we did a Ropeadope TV episode and we had no programming at all, and it was just we did it live?
Was that this time?
That was this time.
Okay. There you go. I thought that was every time. All right.
What do we got?
So we got Progger here.
Nice.
Which is, definitely want to follow your gospel up with a with a prog rock chaser every time. Definitely a good way to go. I think that everyone can appreciate that. So we're gonna pull this up. There's a little bit of a method to my madness here, because in about 2 to 3 weeks, 2 weeks. This is blasphemous for me to be talking while this is playing, but in about 2 weeks, I am going to launch my Apple playlists.
Yes.
So there will be Ropeadope Curator on Apple Music for those of you who subscribe, and I'll be picking some things and pretending to be a DJ. So the whole idea of this was for me to know what I'm doing,
You want to look up some
and
notes?
go, that's the track. And I failed already. So, but I think I might be on point with this one. So we're gonna cue this up. I think
I'll switch them up.
yeah, just I think we go right at the end of this. We go to auxiliary, and then this thing should work, right? And we'll come in, and we'll see how this transition is. So this will be a great example of how seamlessly I blend genres of music.
Are you ready?
You want to fade it down or just let it in?
Let me look at DJ. I'll fade it down.
All right, fade it down, and I'm ready. Nice. For it. That was not painful at all. It was quite nice.
It was a good blend.
Everybody good with that?
I feel great with
I
that.
did. So who knew that we're gonna have to get in touch with Brad Stone from soulandjazz.com and tell him to slip a little gospel into his prog rock show and get that moving. So
What's the stories with these guys?
Progger. So we've had Will Hansa made a little cameo on.
Last week?
Oh no, I'm confusing. Not
Escaper?
Progger. Yeah, I'm going Escaper and Progger. But Brian Donahoe, fascinating character. I believe Brian was here.
Yeah. Like when we first opened up. No?
Possibly. Yeah, when this record came out, probably. So Brian is part of that whole UNT, University of North Texas crowd. Early Snarky Puppy. I think he co-wrote some early Snarky Puppy songs on like Bring Us the Bright.
Okay.
I think he was Michael Lee's roommate in New York City or maybe down there in Texas, not real sure. But part of that, and you can hear some of that.
Yeah.
It's a person with jazz training, or several people with jazz training coming at the prog rock. It's not exactly what I would call prog rock, but which means that I'll put it in rotation on a regular basis. We have visitors. Let's see.
It's sort of like live taping.
We are.
Videoing?
Yeah, we're live right now.
I'm sorry. I wanted to introduce you to this guy from Pakistan. Hello.
Yeah,
Come on in and say hello.
He's an IT consultant. He works at a gas station, but he's got a master's degree, and he's like,
Nice meeting you.
I don't know. I think he's going to be.
This guy you talking about the other night?
He's awesome. Super cool. Just wanted to introduce you guys.
Nice.
That's great. You come back in about 20 minutes and we'll be finished up. Come in and listen to some music.
You are recording?
Yeah.
We are. Yeah. You're on YouTube now.
Okay.
Or sit down and join us, and we'll finish up.
I will for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got
Thank
it.
you very much.
All right.
Live TV, guys.
There it is. That was fun. All right. It's a good thing because we don't know what we're going to talk about, so we need filler here. Yeah. Where were we?
I think we're gonna get another selection from our studio audience.
Are we ready? We'll pick another track.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Drum roll, please.
So we're gonna go with Nick, the star of Just Ask Nick. Please pick an album. Toss it my way. See what we got. Nick picks Nick. Well done. Nicholas Payton numbers. While you're over there, can you grab that Butcher Brown CD? Because I want to talk about that. Maybe third, right up here. Thank you. So Nicholas Payton numbers, originally released directly by Payton Records prior to being associated with Ropeadope, but now we have it here in the Ropeadope family. This record is how this whole connection happened.
What do you mean?
So Butcher Brown, we've talked about the paths that led to Butcher Brown. It starts back with Gennaro Jarrell, record on Ropeadope, connected with Scott Burton in Richmond, Virginia. Therefore, Reggie Pace and Devon Harris, who I met at a Peanut Butter Wolf show in Philly. So Devon Harris, Corey Fonville, who plays drums with Christian Scott, Andrew Randazzo, and Keith Askey. By the way, a little side note, Keith Askey on guitar and Butcher Brown, he was also a guitarist on the Kendrick Lamar To Pimp a Butterfly sessions.
Ah, with Terrace.
Yep, in the session thing. Not with Terrace. I think he came in through a different producer, maybe Soundwave.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that all went down. But anyway, so Butcher Brown came into the Ropeadope network with Jellystone Records. And Butcher Brown is, I think this album, and I have to say, I've only listened to this a few times. I'm going to ask Nick. This is Butcher Brown and Nicholas Payton, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a record they did together.
You should play track 7.
If you get one, if you order one of these and you get it without shrink wrap, you'll know why. Because this is the one that I opened.
Those photos look familiar.
They do look familiar. So we're going to have to pick a track from here.
Just asked Nick, said he suggested one.
Nick's going to have a favorite, so the tracks are numbered.
Yeah, not track 7 on the C, but the name 7, because it starts on 2. Or no, it starts
It does start on 2. So track 1 is called 2, track 2 is called 3, track 3 is called 4, and you get the rest of it. I'm a huge fan of that. So we're going to track 6 called 7. Is that it? Okay.
Numbers never lie.
For those of you who are not subscribed to Apple Music, you can see how simple this is. Just pull up music out of the blue here. There it is. One of the things I've noticed about Apple Music is that when it'll list a song, if you search for a song, and then it'll list the album, and then if you click on the song, it brings up the whole album.
That's great.
Which I kind of like, but then sometimes it'll start playing a song that wasn't the song that I wanted.
Well, that's not.
So I kind of have to look again. But I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, from a record label perspective, that's a great thing. User interface, not sure. All right, we're gonna try to time this since we're not programmed in. Let's see where it gets us. Love this album art.
There we go.
Did I get it?
You got it.
Let's bring it up. If I heard this completely out of context, I would know right away that it was Butcher Brown. That's what's really fascinating about that band. Yeah. Devon Harris. Real talent in all these cats. So, just to tie it in even further, so last week we covered the Charles Owens Quartet.
Yes.
Corey Fonville, Devon Harris, Keith, and Andrew Randazzo are 2 of the quartet. So.
Fender Rose.
On Rose, right. There you go. Beautiful. Nice call. So we'll just cue somebody else up to Roper if you want to pick a record. We got a few minutes. I'll give you a little heads up. I think we need to talk about, so we talked about Apple Music curation, so hopefully people will tune in there. I've got some interesting things I'm going to do. I'm very nervous, but I'm going to try to put together some threads, some kind of like the perception of how I see music is connected.
With Apple Music.
With Apple Music, yeah, on the playlist there. I want to try to have it be somewhat historical, but not necessarily in a documented historical fashion of, you know, so-and-so, just like I just did of who played in what band, but more like, you know, this bass line kind of reminds me of that, or this vibe reminds me of that. And I'm old, so one of the benefits of getting old is that you've accumulated a lot of information.
That's right.
So I've accumulated some information, and we'll see whether it's relevant. I hope people like it. And I think it'll be good for Ropeadope in general and ours. So looking forward to that. And it's kind of an indication of like how things are changing. You know, music is, this business has been really challenging over the years. Ever since I've been in it, and probably before that. And you know, maybe it's the same in a lot of other parts of life and other businesses. I mean, I'm sure if I was a taxi driver, I'd be saying the same thing. Like,
right.
Man, this business has really changed, and I think we spend about a lot of our time on edge about what this change is going to bring to us. But then at the same time, we're really excited about the possibilities that could happen.
Well, who's on edge? I mean, the fans aren't on edge, are they?
I'm on edge every day. I was on edge before the internet. No,
artists?
I think fans are. I mean, I would like to think that serious music collectors and serious music enthusiasts are concerned that the technologies that they have might not be here. You know, what do you have a collection of music for if suddenly you can't buy a record player? Or you can't buy, you know, and we've watched this stuff just disappear. And now with streaming, you're like, well, it's great, I like the cloud and all, but what happens if I can't access Apple Music? And why am I locked into a subscription? You know, like, right, we're moving from this like buying and owning to rental kind of thing, right? And that's a little bit scary, but at the same time, I can get access to all of this incredible material, right? So it's a major transitional time in history, and so I'm going to talk about that again. We need to pick up a song here, though. What are we looking at? All right, we're calling out for Adam and Kizzie. Let's bring that on over.
One of my favorites.
Love Adam and Kizzie. Have we even talked about Adam and Kizzie?
I was listening to Adam and Kizzie yesterday.
Were you? Fantastic. You got a favorite on here you want to pick? This is the Book of Edo, Volume 2. We're gonna have to fade that one out as it's moving into the next track.
I don't have a favorite, but I'm gonna go off the title. He will never leave you nor forsake you.
Well, there you go.
That sounds heavy.
Last track on the record. Definitely speaks to their roots. And would bring us back to the gospel.
He will always hear you when you call. Jesus answers every prayer, even when you cannot feel him there. Call on him, he's your friend, and he will never leave you. He won't forsake you. Jesus is the source of every
One more time.
power.
We're going to go around. I got a feeling they're going to do something interesting in the
Right.
middle here. Yeah. When we get to that, we'll bring it up. been a long time since I played this record, so thank you for bringing that up. We had Jonathan Scales here, and that is how we met Adam and Kizzie. Fervent supporters and followers of these two. I think there's it's kind of tough for somebody there in Oklahoma City or Kansas City. Oklahoma City, I think.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. So it's always challenging. A lot of artists move to New York, or out to LA to be in the center of everything, and they have a more challenging life, but also more opportunities. And I think it's always more difficult for someone from those areas, or I shouldn't say more difficult. We don't hear that as much, just like we don't hear about all the jazz greats from Dallas up to Omaha as much as we hear the ones from New Orleans up to New York.
Right.
It's all a question of the path. But I miss these two. They were down here in East Philly a couple of times, and we're going to need to reconnect, see what's up with Adam and Kizzie these days. Definitely recommend that you look them up. All of the people, they've done a couple East Coast tours, and every musician that I know flips out about these two.
Really?
Flips out. That's where my ears just don't go as far. But there are things that they're doing that sound progressive and interesting and different to me that I don't understand. And musicians go,
Yeah.
that's incredible. That's the thing, right? So there you go.
Like the choir coming in 3 minutes into the track, like that. That's great.
Okay. You know how I feel about learning too much.
I know.
Yeah. I want to be dangerous. I want to have a little bit of knowledge.
Don't teach them.
There we go. So we mentioned Apple Music curation. We talked about how things are changing. You're not feeling nervous about the technological changes in the world?
I'm excited about the technological change. You referenced, if we were in the taxi industry, I guess we would be feeling a certain way. But we talked about this. It's about access. So I think the technology is giving people access. And at the end of the day, that's what we all long for. Here at Ropeadope.
Connection, you mean?
Connection. Having access to, artists to the fan. That has, it used to be this far apart. Technology has made it, you can shake hands, you can high five, you can comment, you can like, you can reshare, retweet. And I think artists that really understand that concept and take a hold of that, they can really build something significant, and have a real genuine, authentic connection with the people who love their art and love their music. And if they get a hold of that, man, that's where it's at. That's where all the streaming stuff is at. It's just making things so much more easier to connect.
Gotcha. We're going to dig into Apple Connect too, because I don't even understand how that works, and we're going to be more active on Spotify as well as far as connecting people. I have this. I won't say that I'm. Well, no, it's a certain amount of nerves, because I feel like we're at a point where it's like we can tell the value.
Right.
Hold on. There it is. Velvet Underground show suddenly.
Correct. Good call.
Wow. There we go. I just feel like we're part of me is excited about how things are changing, and I'm most comfortable in this changing environment about like, come on, let's go out in the woods, let's go in the wilderness, let's get over that hill, let's pioneer, But also I kind of want to be spot. You know what I mean? I want to be on the other side of it. I want to be like, oh, that's cool, right? Facebook isn't going to last forever, and this is how this is all going to work. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel finished. It feels so fresh and new. I don't think there's really a lot you can rely on, and we don't know what's going to last and what's not going to last. So part of me wants that security.
The unknown is where the fear comes in.
I have both a love and a fear of the unknown, or a love of fear. I'm not going to flip that right now, because it's way too personal. We're going to need to pick one more before we go out. I mean, I'm just going to turn this up for a minute while we pick another. Incredible.
Julian's up.
Julian, you want to pick one off the wall? No? I'm going to throw it back around.
You want to pick one?
All right, we're gonna have
our special guest.
I've forgotten your name already.
Yasser.
Yasser. Okay, Yasser, please step up to the wall and pick a. All right. Just around the camera, if you will. Please.
There you go. Downloads.ropeadope.com.
Downloads.ropeadope.com. Exactly. We're closing credits here. Roll. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to get our pick from Yasser in 1 second, and we're going to cue it up.
That's the one.
We got time. That's a beautiful album.
You picked a good one. Don't forget to subscribe. That little button right there that says subscribe.
And check out the Ropeadope page. We're going to have a new subscription service coming up on Bandcamp and some other special surprises over the next 30 days.
Survey says
we got to go. We're picking Sister Gertrude Morgan. Beautiful choice. I'm going to cue it up real fast. I think we got about, how many? Do we have 30 seconds
30.
left? We got a minute and 30. All right. So this is mystical in that we started this show off with some gospel, and we randomly ended up with some gospel in the middle that ties into some very progressive stuff. I love the way the music fits. And here we're going to take it out with Sister Gertrude Morgan, the most divine from New Orleans, New World in my view. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Awesome. Be well.
I got a new world in my view. Lord, my journey I pursue. I said I'm running for the city. I got the new world in my view. I got the new world in my view. Oh, my journey I pursue. Lord, I'm running for the city. I got the new world in my view. Come on, get on it.